And now it's time for the Business Owners Spotlight Series. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 3 of my video interview with Mr. JT Hustlez. If you have yet to see the first 2 parts, please find the links to those videos in the description and then come back to watch this final part. Thank you so much for watching.
I don't want them to think about business as work. It does take work, but I want you, well, no. Let me rephrase that. Somebody new into business, I want them to think about business as work, but not as hard. Because like I said earlier, everything is hard until you know how to do it. So I think that lots of times people are intimidated by it's hard. Like people will say, well, selling is hard. Well, is it though? If selling is so hard, why can't we just put Denzel name and tell people, hey, Denzel Washington gonna be in this movie. Will Smith is gonna be in this movie. Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be in this movie. They can say they're gonna drop another Avengers. We already know that's gonna make at least $1 million. So is selling really that hard, or is it you just don't know how to sell? You don't know how to market. You don't know how to brand. And more so than do you know how to do it? Other than that, are you realistic? Right. I listened to other people as well, and I study other people as well. One of the things that they said is that in the early days of Cartoon Network, because I grew up watching cartoons, I don't know about anybody that's watching this, you didn't make any money off of your cartoon. So for example, let's say you made Bugs Bunny, and this is just an example. I ain't telling anybody 100% this is it, because I forget the exact cartoon it was. But you make a cartoon. You got to make a pilot for it. Hopefully you can get Cartoon Network or somebody to pick it up. After you pay all the associated costs for that production, the animators, the voiceovers, all of that stuff, you probably made no money or very little money to say you did all of this for this. How you really make your money is when that kid goes to Walmart and say, Ma, I see Minnie Mouse. Buy me a Minnie Mouse shirt. I see Minnie Mouse toy. Buy me the Minnie Mouse toy. They made merchandising. But keep in mind, they might have been running that cartoon since the 80s. Your child could be born in 2020 and ask you to buy the shirt in 2021. And the reason why I give that example is that you can learn business, you can learn marketing, but you got to understand that you want to do the same numbers as a brand that's been around since the 80s. And they've been embedding stuff in the psyche of the parents, the children, and etc. for years. I'm not saying it takes decades to make sales, but I also want you to be practical in your marketing. And
you got to feed the pipeline. It's not going to be instant. You have to feed that pipeline, and later on, when everybody else see it, oh, it's just flowing. It's flowing. Yeah, you didn't see me when I was loading it.
Yeah, and the biggest brands in the world still pay billions of dollars. It's public information. Coca-Cola will still spend billions of dollars a year. You'll say everybody know Coca-Cola. Yeah, but Coca-Cola don't want to be forgotten. A lot of people think Coca-Cola was the first beverage company. Dr. Pepper was before Coca-Cola. However, now, because of how they marketed, what they did so consistently, you will see a Coca-Cola advertisement or branding before you see a Dr. Pepper. All right, and that's because it's 2020. You know what Coke products are. If you go to a restaurant and you say what beverages you have, they say Coke products. You'll say, okay, that's Coca-Cola, that's this, that's that. Hey, I want this. And they still will spend billions of dollars in marketing, right? So if you want to come out with JT's no cap energy drink, all right, and you want to do the same numbers as Coca-Cola, it's not realistic.
Realistic. That is very true. Gotta have high goals, gotta have high ambition, but you do have to be realistic. Wow, we hit all the points.
That's why I tell I'm 29. My goal is to accomplish all of my goals by 50. So I got 21 years. People that look at me now and be like, yo, you got this going on. You're doing very well for yourself. And a lot of people say they would just coast it out. But I'm like, man, nah, I've been doing it since 24. So really by the time I'm 50, whatever I have at 50 is 26 years of work. And yo, I'm willing to put that in. So even now at 29, I'm still telling people I'm gonna work hard for the next 21 years. I don't have a job, but I enjoy what I do. I'm always learning. Even at 50, I ain't gonna know it all. And when I say I want to retire at 50, let's say YouTube is still around or whatever I'm doing is still around and I enjoy doing it, I'll do it. But I'm saying by age 50, I want to be financially free and I want my daughter to be financially free and educated to the point where she can teach her children, they can teach their children. So I want to be the sacrificial generation of change. And it sounds prophetic and it sounds cool for you to say it. But then once you really dive into it and understand that in order for something to be a sacrifice, it has to die. There is no such thing as a sacrifice that has not died. So for me to be the sacrificial generation of change, I have to dedicate the rest of my life to like, hey, yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I dropped the app. My daughter is the co-owner of the app. My daughter is the muse behind my books now, but she's the co-author of my books. She has her own business bank account right now at 2 years old. She has a daycare center. We're going to invest in more daycare centers. We're going to invest in more laundromats because I don't know the future, but according to history, those are two businesses that I don't think are going to go away in any economy. Whether people are on hard financial times, you still need a break for them bad kids, and you still don't want to be walking around stinking. And in low income neighborhoods, maybe you renting a space that doesn't have washer and dryer hookups. If you are in a high end community, bougie people, as we call it, what they do at laundromats is different from what people in the low income neighborhood do. They'll come drop off their clothes and say, I want these starched, I want these pressed, I want these whatever. So they'll just drop off the basket of clothes and you'll wash them, dry them, steam them, whatever you got to do. They'll come back, you got them in plastic, similar to like a dry cleaners. I know dry cleaners, depending on where you locate it, might be dying out. They still exist some places, but there are certain areas that they have fused the laundromat into that too. And then I've been to some high-end neighborhoods, you can't walk in with a basket and wash the clothes yourself. You come in, you fill out a form, you give them the clothes, and okay, you pay when you pick it up. You tell us, hey, no bleach. I'm allergic to bleach, whatever. So that's why I'm like, laundromats and daycare centers, a lot of stuff can change in the world in between now and the time I turn 50. But knowing that, hey, don't nobody want to be stinking. Everybody, you either gonna want to break from them bad kids or you got to go to work and your kids can't come to your job with you. All right,
right. Other than the gold mine of information that you have shared, I thank you for confirming and validating some of the things that I already knew, like the sacrifice that has to be made. Matter of fact, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, I can't get up. I've been sitting too long. Now this is my own little creation here. I haven't seen it nowhere else. Stay undeterred. Continue creating, embrace self-sacrifice. Some people say, why would you want to embrace self-sacrifice? Why you want to sacrifice yourself? Sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself to save yourself or to save somebody else. I myself, I have an adult child and I also have a school-age child, and I would love to have a legacy for them. They don't see the importance of it now. Hopefully, when they reach a level of maturity, they will see it, appreciate it, want to become a part of it, want to continue it. But that sacrifice, it is important. You have to work hard every day. I have my full-time job, but I'm planning my exit strategy. And my family says, just be content, just be happy. You gotta, okay, it is what it is, but there's more, and I want to find out what more there is, and I want to be self-sustaining and make my own make my own future and put a hand in my own destiny. And in order to have that success, you do have to sacrifice. So you definitely validated that for me.
I mean, spiritual people out there, they'll agree that there is no salvation without sacrifice.
Yeah, it's not going to drop in your lap. Yeah. Hey, not. You've been wanting $1 million. I just happen to have some. Would you like it? It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
you gotta work. You better work.
The agnostic people out there that would want to disagree. If you just look at history, think about how many wars was fought in order to get this country to what it is today. Whether it was, we got to get this land civil wars, world wars, all of that stuff that went down. So men and women have sacrificed for us to just get to this level. And at some point, if you want things to change, who's gonna be that sacrificial generation to change? That's why I'm like, man, hey, already my daughter 2 years old. I talked to her mom about it. First car she gonna have is a BMW. People are like, oh, JT, that's stupid, that's bad, she ain't that good of a driver. But psychologically, I'm trying to reprogram her. I want her to think that, you know, there is no shortage of money. And me being a dad that's overprotective, I don't want a dude with a nice car to make her think that this is what love is. I got a nice car, I'm gonna buy you a person, etc. So that's the selfish dad in me. But even bigger than that, I don't want her to think that money is not in abundance. Even if you don't have all the money that you want right now, you can see that millions and billions of dollars change hands every day. All right, so you can find out what are you interested in. It's so many ways to make money. You don't even have to make money the way that I made money or the way that anybody else that you see making a lot of money making money, because whatever you're interested in, 9 times out of 10, there is a niche of people that have that same interest. I don't care if you say, man, hey, I like cycling. If you start a company that sells bicycle parts and etc., hey, I like fitness. Okay, I'm gonna get into nutrition and personal fitness. I like to laugh. You can make funny content, man. Look at how much money Kevin Hart made just off of being funny, and how many Instagram influencers and YouTubers out there that's making great money just off being funny. Steve Harvey, worth over $100 million just off of being funny. And don't forget, if you got a business, you should have a YouTube channel, because it's a search engine, and you never know. It's YouTubers out here that said that they got rich in 2 years. I ain't got rich off of YouTube in those 2 years, but I hope to build it up and add that to one of my income streams. And I don't even consider myself rich either. Like my family is rich, and I'm following their blueprint, and eventually we're gonna get to the wealthy point on an individual level. But make a YouTube channel, even deeper than that, because I got a whole course on it in Hustle Academy. But what I would say is, one, you can make whatever content you want, but if you are making a YouTube channel only because JT Hustle said so and it's a search engine, I would say, if you care about my 2 cents, I would literally create video ideas and title and tag them based off of the questions my target audience would ask. Right? So if I'm going to open up a whatever, right? I want to teach people, well, no, let's say I got a restaurant and I want to do a Mexican style restaurant. Whatever is a popular dish, I would make a video, how to make choriporo, how to make whatever it is. Some people are going to watch it and take your recipe and use it. But also some people are lazy and they're going to say, hey, that look good. And I know people personally, they can watch you do it. They can follow the recipe. And then,
but it ain't going to be like yours.
Yeah. So they're like, nah, I want it like that. So yeah, you showed me how to make it, but hey, yours look really good. Mine don't look like that. And I'm going to still support you. And there is no way that you can service every customer in the whole world. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people feel like if I give them too much, I ain't gonna have nothing to sell them. Keep in mind, I'm telling you,
that's that fear kicking in again.
Yeah, I'm gonna write at least 2 books a year, Lord willing. I'm gonna keep doing the apps and etc. There's nothing in the book that I haven't told people for free, or somebody else hasn't told them for free, even if I write it in a book and I don't make YouTube content on it. However, it's been working for me so far. Not saying that you got to even write business books. If anything, I would say that the business book niche is probably less lucrative, being fully transparent. I love entrepreneurship. As you guys can tell, we could talk about entrepreneurship all night long. But Garfield, the cat, retired the man. Made enough money off of Garfield, he'll never have to work again. Now, he might be working because he likes what he does.
You don't have to.
Don't have to. Lady
I
want
to get to that point.
Yeah. The individual that created Dr. Seuss, or his family, all of these people, man. The Harry Potter series, I touched on that as well. The Marvel comic book series, Stan Lee passed away. But man, I'd be surprised if Stan Lee great grandkids have to work. If Tyler Perry's great grandkids have to work, they'll still be eating off of that Medea money.
Very true. Very true. That's why it's important to start a legacy, start something, because you never know where it will end up. You never know where it will end up.
And free workers too. I'm gonna elaborate more on this because I don't know how much longer you want to go. This is the mentality that I be everybody that's in my circle that we talk about on a daily basis. Different entrepreneurs I network with, and I'm selling them on creating digital products and utilizing social media. Keep in mind when I say social media, understanding how the internet works, regardless of what platform, figuring it out and running with it. I have over 700 videos on YouTube. One video alone on the back end as a YouTuber, you'll see you have analytics. You can go specifically to that video. How much money did this one video make me? A video that I did over 2 years ago still has been making me $100 or more per month. Not every video makes $100. Some videos make way more. Some videos make less. But the point that I'm making here is I created that video 2 years ago. It is a free worker that makes $100 or more for me every month. I have 700 of them. They don't need any time off. They don't need no sick days for nothing. They ain't gonna ask me for no raise. And not saying that your channel will be like that. Your channel could be way bigger than mine. Same thing with the books. Lord willing, I live a long and prosperous life. After I pass away, the information in my book is still true. My daughter will eat off of it. Hope she lives a prosperous life. After she passes away, her kids will eat off a book of that I wrote. 10 generations from now, I might not never, it's likely that I will never meet that version of my family. If YouTube still exists, they might still eat off the YouTube, but I'm really big on let's leverage these platforms and create our own. I'm still going to have my own books. I don't see apps going away. The app in some form or another will still be out there. So the real estate, I'm trying to build a portfolio of buying whole real estate where you can eat off of the rent in perpetuity. And also, I want to tell you guys a nugget too about people that want to buy big, nice, expensive houses. It's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want you to go into it with the mentality of I just want a big, nice 7-bedroom, 6-bathroom house. Investigate a HELOC in your area. HELOC stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. Personally, the way that I'm teaching people real estate right now, and I'm going to be making a lot of content on it, is that you go to tax lien auctions in your area. That is the slowest way to get into real estate. It's also the cheapest way to get into real estate. Just being real with you. When a tax lien auction is, I don't pay the property taxes on my house. Usually it's a year or two they give me. If I don't catch up on it, and it's different based off of state, county, and etc., they auction off my property for at least what the city needs in tax money. You're going to get something called a tax deed. You go to a real estate attorney, they're going to do a title search. They're going to let you know what needs to happen. In my area, it costs $250, and then they'll give you a warranty deed. A warranty deed means that there are no liens against your property. You own that property free and clear. That's what you want. A warranty deed, you can sell that, you can do whatever, right? Tax lien auctions. My uncle and other people I know have went with less than $2,000. I'm not guaranteeing that because it just depends on your area. But if you do enough due diligence and if you keep going, they do them at least once a year, you'll hit a lick. I had under contract, I lost it, 14 acres for $1,200. My uncle bought a lot with a house on it for $700. And he sold the trees on the property to the lumber company for $15,000. And then they also wanted the lumber on the property behind his house. There is a ditch around the property. The only way to get to their property is to knock down my uncle's fence and then get to those trees as well. The house is an abandoned house. My uncle paid $700 for it. He didn't care. He sold them his trees for $15,000. He charged them again to give them permission to knock down the fence and take those trees and to use his pathway to access the yard. My uncle has owned the property now for years. He never goes out there. So, but he made over $20,000 off of a $700 investment. It took him a couple of years because it was a tax lien. But I tell people that it is the slowest way to get into real estate. It is also the cheapest way. Once you get your money up, you can deal with wholesalers. Wholesalers are basically everybody want to flip houses out there, and it's super competitive. So a good wholesaler now is going to pretty much give you a free real estate education. What I mean by that is that everybody trying to flip houses, everybody trying to get buyers on their buyers list. So it's no longer the day where you can say, oh, my neighbor want to sell their house for $1,000. I'm gonna just send somebody a picture and say, hey, buy it for $1,000. One, those sorts of deals are super rare to come by because they got driving for dollars, they got apps, they got all these ads they running. So even though you stay right next to somebody across town can reach them before you. And a good wholesaler knows that, okay, a good buyer is somebody you want to keep a relationship with, and they're busy. So when wholesalers send me listings, they give me the address, they give me the pictures, they tell me how much back taxes, they tell me what rent is in that area, because I tell them I'm a buy and hold investor. I'm not trying to buy it from you and then sell it again. I want to rent out this property. So these are some questions that I have. Now, some wholesalers will say, you know, it is your responsibility, which is true. It is my responsibility as a buyer to do some research and know what I'm about to buy before I buy it. However, it's also so many wholesalers that if you don't do the research, I'll go to them. And if you say 123 Main Street is for sale, how much is rent in that area? I don't know. You got to look it up. I text this wholesaler, 123 Main Street is for sale. Hey, how much is rent in that area? Oh, here's a printout right here. I went to this website. Rent in that area is this much. Okay, cool. I want to buy it. Can you get it under contract? All right, cool. All right. So people will say that that's dirty, but if you think about it, that's how the game goes all the time because people are busy. And I'm like, hey, I want the real estate, but I also have X, Y, and Z going on. People will always pay for convenience. So even if you call me and say, I'll sell you the house at $1,000, but they say I'll sell it to you for $1,500, but they're going to make it easier for me. Lots of times, the buyers that I know, we're going to take advantage of that. All right. And then, of course, real estate agents. But if I'm not mistaken, at least in the Carolinas, the job of the real estate agent is to get the most money for the seller. Right. So the margins aren't that great. But that, again, I'm talking about the Carolinas. In your state, it may be different. But how I wanted to give you that backstory. When we're talking about getting a house, right? I'm going to use my house or my daughter's house as an example. I bought the house for $12,203, something like that. It appraised as is for $38,000. It had a hole in the roof, two fell on it. It was all growed up, terrible. But in that condition, the state appraised it for $38,000. And the reason is because the location. I bought the house because it's in close proximity to the downtown. It's in a major city in North Carolina. They have a special forces military base. They have 3 colleges, and they have a very good medical community there. So if you're a nurse or a doctor, they have one of the best cancer treatment centers in the area. A lot of good jobs for people in the medical profession. So I bought it in that area. Bought it for $12,000. Immediately had equity in it because it appraised for $38,000. It's downtown, so the city is gradually raising taxes on it. This goes into gentrification. So year 1, taxes is $400. Year 2 is $600. Year 3 is $1,000. I know because it was back taxes on the property, so I had to pay all of those back taxes. All of that was part of the $12,000, but I got to see that. That let me know right there. I know people in the country, they taxes is $700 a year. They've been staying there for 15 years. But that's a quick sign of gentrification. Another sign of gentrification also is code enforcement. It may be called something else in your area. The house that I bought, the city sends out people to drive around, and literally they just want to make sure that you don't got a lot of junk cars in front of your house. You keep
grass too tall.
Yeah, it's similar to a homeowners association, except it's not a homeowners association. It is a city ordinance. And they have code enforcement people that literally work from their vehicle that the city provides them a little car, and they drive around. And where my house is located, you get 2 warnings. If you don't cut the grass or do whatever after the second warning, it's $100 a day fine until you fix the problem. All right. So if you don't cut the grass, Monday, they put it in your mailbox. Tuesday, they put it in your mailbox. Well, what if you out of town? Or what if you a real estate investor and you working on the property, you ain't expecting no mail, you ain't checking the box. By the time you check it, it's because newspapers and stuff busting out the mailbox, you owe $2,000, right? All of this is a sign of gentrification. Lots of times African Americans or low-income people think that gentrification is a bad thing because if you can't afford to stay there, they usually force you out and they redevelop that area. What is good from a real estate developer perspective, and for those of you that want to buy houses, I'll tell you, yeah, that increases your property value. So once my house is completely done, it's hard because different calculators always give you an estimate, and it's a crazy range. The house is going to be worth between $70,000 and $110,000. All said and done, I won't have more than $50,000 in it, so I'll have equity. Now, let's say you want to get a big, nice $500,000 house, right? If you care what I have to say about it, maybe you try to find an area where you notice that they're doing a lot of developing. They're building a semi-pro baseball stadium 2.7 miles from my house. And baseball is a semi-pro team underneath the Houston Astros. So if you come to North Carolina and you kill it in semi-pro baseball, they'll send you to the major leagues, the Houston Astros, to try out. So they're trying to build around that, amongst other things they're trying to bring to the city. So a home equity line of credit, right? All of that was just to tell you different ways to find real estate and pretty much what I look for in the area. If you want to try to say, how can I develop a gut feeling that I want a big house, but this is a good place to get a big house, right? All of that stuff plays a part. Home equity line of credit says this. I buy the house for $70,000. It appraises for $100,000. The bank usually gives you HELOCs only on your primary residence. I went to several banks. The conclusion of the matter is this. They assume that if you ever fall on hard financial times, you'll pay for the house that you live in before you pay for an investment property. Now, that's why it's super important to build relationships with small localized banks because they may give you one on investment properties. But I'm talking about Bank of America, Wells Fargo, big banks like that. They want to give it to you on your primary residence. But the great thing is $70,000 is what you pay. It appraises for $100,000. Once you establish it as your primary resident, which means you got bills coming there, you staying there for a few months, maybe a year. It really just depends on how your state classifies a primary residence in that area. They'll give you up to 80% of the value in a line of credit, meaning that you got $80,000 to spend on whatever. They not gonna say on whatever, but this is how people build their net worth in real estate so fast. All right, so I bought a house for $12,000. When it's all said and done, I'm trying to have no more than $50,000 in it. I know it's going to appraise for around $70,000. I can immediately stay in there for a little while and then establish a home equity line of credit. I can take that home equity line of credit. I can buy property number 2. I own property number 2 free and clear. I can move into property number 2. I can Section 8 or just rent out property number 1 so that now my tenant pays the HELOC back. So I never pay the HELOC back. Business owners don't pay for anything. Your business pays for it or your clients or tenants pay for it. So now you that are renting my house, you pay that HELOC back because I want to reuse it after you pay it back. I own this house free and clear. So if worst case scenario, I lose this house, I still got a place to stay. But the smart thing is you run your numbers. Now this person stays in house number 1. Or if you love house number 1, you stay in house number 1. You use the HELOC to buy house number 2, and you still have the tenant pay you more than enough money to pay back the HELOC. But house hacking is traditionally is what this is called. You move into house number 2. You have that person paying back your HELOC plus extra, so you turn a small profit. May only be $200 a month. But now your net worth is based off of the appraised value of the house. So if you pulled out $50-something thousand on that HELOC and bought house number 2 is worth $100,000. House number 1 and 2 are worth $200,000 combined. You have $100,000 invested of your money, but it's worth double on paper. And now you can go to the bank and say, this is the buying power I have. This is the net worth I have. Of course, they're going to look at your debt to income ratio. They're going to look at your credit score. But that's how people run up their net worth real fast. I'm not a fan of net worth, but that's how you can leverage the game along with credit so that the bank will keep giving you money. All right. And then house hacking, if you want to keep going, you'll refinance house number 2 by house number 3. All right, and you keep doing it that way. The key thing, the hard part is, right, because I don't want you to think that JT is making it so easy. People do make it easy, but think about it this way. What happens if the market crash and tenant number 1 and 2 can't afford to pay the rent no more? So now you can't afford to pay the mortgage. So you got to find the sweet spot where it's like, okay, I got this quality of tenant, or it's on Section 8. So even if so-and-so can't pay, the state will still pay me enough money. So now the game that I'm going to play is, as long as the state portion of the rent is enough money to cover my HELOC payment, I don't care if it put $1 in my pocket after that. It'll still pay off my HELOC. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm covered on it. All right, so you got to be smart about it. So don't just throw anybody and everybody in it. A principle that I learned from the Marine Corps is the best time to prepare for war is during time of peace. You don't want to wait till the war breaks out to try to train everybody. Mm-hmm. This is how you shoot a gun. This is how you get in formation.
Late now.
Yeah, it's too late then. Yeah, so definitely, man. So if real estate is a part of all highly successful people. We're talking about money, all right? Spirituality, fitness, all of that stuff. I know that makes you a well-rounded person, but we just talking about dollars. So speaking just about people, whether you love them or hate them, highly successful people, if we measure them by dollars, have real estate as at least part of their portfolio. It does allow them to jump up their net worth. One of the principles in this book that I told you guys is that they highly recommend that you get 3 rental properties if you realistically want to become a millionaire one day. Now, of course, they're going to elaborate and tell you how to move and do more than that. But the initial goal within that first decade is, can you get 3 rental properties? Don't think that that's the only way to do it, right? There's other books out there that literally say they want you to buy enough fixer-upper properties that you can afford to pay the property taxes on and do nothing with until you have a portfolio of properties. And let me know if this makes sense or not, because I don't want to confuse nobody. But you build a portfolio where the after repair value is $1 million, and then you start leveraging one property to fix the other.
Yep, that's way over my head. So stop right there. I'm like, I'm trying to take notes and keep it here. But for me, that's, yeah.
Okay, let's say the house you living in now, let's say that somebody sells it to you for $30,000, but it appraises for $100,000. All right, you would buy this house for $30,000, but as part of your plan, you will write it down as $100,000 because you know after repair value it'll be worth $100,000. Mm-hmm. You would buy 10 of them. So you would spend $300,000 if you bought 10 $30,000 houses, and then you will start leveraging either by credit or if you want to just cash flow from your businesses, you'll fix up one property and then you'll use the equity in that or just use that as just straight collateral and pull money from that to fix number 2. And then number 2, you'll pull from that to fix number 3. And then you'll do that. This is a philosophy that they usually teach people that spend a lot of money to go to like business conferences, and the people that want to retire millionaires and want a practical way to do it. What they really tell them is basically you go buy dumps that's in the middle of nowhere. I ain't a big fan of that because it's hit and miss on the ARV value, especially if you buying it with the expectation of not doing anything with it. But your portfolio in dollars, you got 300,000 in it, but the after repair value is $1 million. And then you fix up one property, and then it goes right back to the refinance system or the HELOC system, whichever you want to do, where you use this one to pay for that one. That one is paying for this one because the second one is on free and clear, right? You follow me that far?
Yes.
All right. So that's one train of thought, but it's a lot of different ways to make money in real estate. Of course, people oversimplify it. Buy low, sell high, but I'm a buy and hold investor. And like I told you guys, we're going to build a portfolio of daycare centers, laundromats, and we might do some residential properties. But what I like better than residential properties is I like commercial real estate that needs to be fixed up. And daycares, think about it. Whether you stay in the country or you stay downtown in the busiest city, they need affordable and safe childcare. So a daycare center will work there. A laundromat will work there. It ain't a business that's like it's a nightclub. That if we open up a nightclub in the middle of the country, ain't nobody gonna come out there and support it, right? So that's personally the way that I want to move. And you can put that anywhere. Laundromat can go anywhere. Daycare can go anywhere. And then it go back to what I told you guys. Marketing is a skill. So just like welding, building a house, being an electrician, like if I can market any business for myself. I can market a business for you. I can literally barter and say, okay, like even for example, I'm talking to some contractors now, and I'm saying if I use my dollars, when it's all said and done, I'll have about $50,000 of my dollars in it. You don't got to do this overnight. You can do it over time. I'm talking to contractors that want to build their brand, and they saying, honestly, I could wire your house in a day. It'll cost $200 worth of materials. I'm gonna wire your house for free. And in exchange for that, I want you to promote my electrician business. Keep in mind, we touched earlier, an electrician might charge you $10,000, but they charging you for their knowledge. The materials, anybody that's worked on a house will tell you that materials are cheap, especially if you're a licensed contractor. Yeah, they taxing you on the labor. And they keep it that way because they don't want to water down the niche. So it's not that they're trying to get over on you. It's not that plumber can't survive if they charge you less than $125 to come out and tell you what's wrong with your toilet. But think about it. It'll be a race to the bottom. If the industry standard is $125 and I say $55 and then you say $35, and then before you know it,
nobody gonna make money after that.
Yeah, and then people go out of business. So savvy business people, they know their numbers up front. So that's why you'll see I'm gonna be at 125. They go to 55, okay, cool. Hey, they might be around for a minute, but if I'm in the same business as you and I know the numbers, it's not sustainable at that price point. So you're going to work yourself to death. You're going to get burnt out, and you're going to be like, man, hey, I got to raise my prices. Once you raise your prices back to me, I'm always going to be able to compete with you with quality of service. So if that's the only value you had, now you went from working yourself like a dog to not getting no work because I'm a better worker than you. I'm a better business than you. So I strongly encourage people, if you want to get into business, the easiest thing to do is say, he's selling it for $10. It only costs $2 to make. I'm going to sell it for $7. Do you know your numbers, though? How much does it cost to market it? Right? Granted, if you spend $150 a month in marketing, you don't take all of that out of one sale, but a portion of that sale price goes into your marketing expense, goes into if you got to maintain it somewhere, or you're going to rent a storage building. Storage buildings are a great investment too, because think about it, it's low maintenance and you make money every single month. So if you get a piece of land and you just put storage containers on it and you charge somebody, depending on the size, $40 to $60, and you could charge more than that if it's climate controlled, depending on where you're located. You could be closer to 60 or even more. And literally all you're doing is just letting stuff sit there. Your utility bill is going to be not that bad. It's going to be offset by the amount of people that do it. Very low maintenance. You just need somebody there to collect the money. But then that's when your business systems come in place and you have an online system where you save their credit card information and every month it runs. And now all you got to do is hire somebody once a month or so, because you're going to put cameras out, but once a month you have somebody just go, they just going to spray for pests. You don't want a lot of roaches and spiders. People could put some nasty stuff in there. And once you get the reputation of being the infested storage container place, don't nobody want to come put their stuff there. And I'm just throwing ideas out there to let you guys know it's so many different ways to make money. I told you guys about making an app, 40 cents a day is super realistic. Writing your own book is easy. Amazon KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. It's a free way that Amazon will let you write and put out your own book, and then they'll do profit sharing with you. With eBay and Mercari, you could take stuff that's laying around your house. You don't even have to guess how much it costs to sell something. Literally, eBay has a sold listing. So scan a barcode if it has a barcode. If it doesn't have a barcode, just type it in and go to the filter side and look at the sold listings. Don't look at what it's listed at. Like I said, let me find something simple. This block right here that we can use to charge our phone. I can list it on eBay tonight for $10,000. That don't mean that it'll ever sell. So if you just go to eBay and type it in and don't look at the sold listings, people can put whatever price they want. eBay don't care. You type in whatever number you want to. But if you go to sold listings, it'll tell you this block only sell for whatever it may be, $5, $7, $3. And now you know, okay, I can only sell it for $5. I can go to Dollar Tree, get an envelope for $1. I can ship it. That might be another $2.50. I'm gonna lose maybe 20 or 30% in eBay fees and PayPal fees. So when it's all said and done, this is gonna be my profit. Okay, for all of that, I don't want to sell it. Let me find something that's worth more.
And then sometimes you have to come to that conclusion that sometimes something is not worth selling.
Absolutely. And I tell people, I go to flea markets and do that. Flea markets, I go to stores and do that. I don't even, by the time I buy something out the store to resell, I have an idea of how much it's going to cost. I know how much it's going to, how much it's going to cost in fees, how much it's going to cost to ship, and all of those expenses. So I know, like I do it so much now, my mind work different. So I'll look at a pair of shoes, run my numbers. That's $17. Okay, it could be selling for $50 in the store, but it's $17 profit. And the way that I look at stuff, okay, it's selling so fast, man. They got 10 of them here. I can sell all 10 of them in a week. That's $170. I'm gonna buy them all. And $170 don't sound like a lot until you start researching and you find Rally Roots, which is a YouTube channel that makes 6 figures a year just selling stuff on eBay. And you notice that they doing it $1 at a time. All right. So you can make money $1 at a time. You can also, there's another nugget. Don't think because you're not a rich person or a high-end person that you can't market to those people, right? It's so many people that they'll come across an item or they'll have an idea and they'll say, I can't charge that much for that. Ain't nobody will pay that. Do the research and see. I plan on doing a small manufacturing company in the future. When I say small, like probably a barn-sized building that's just producing different products and services. My average price point will probably be between $40 to $100, just depending on the size. Now, for little trinkets that we make, you might say, man, I only got $5 in that. I can't charge people $40 for that. Well, why not? Like, what does the market bear? Like, if the market says this is how much this costs, cool. All right. So, because think about it, the electrician, $200 worth of wire, in my case, would wire my entire house. My house is just over 17. Well, no, with the add-ons and stuff, we just under 2,000 square feet. $200 worth of materials. $200 worth of materials. Average an electrician I ran into on the cheap end was saying $6,000. And I tell them, hey, I need it done ASAP. How long it'll take? I'll do it in a day. $6,000 minus $200. Tell me that you made $5,800 in a day. To the uninitiated, man, you can't be making that much money a day. Why not? Like, can you learn how to wire your own house?
You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, you gotta start.
I'm gonna stop you right there because you didn't, like I said, you didn't give me not only a couple nuggets but a gold mine. And for anybody who is interested in finding out more, I'm just going to direct them to your channel. And your channel name is JT Hustles. You are the host and content creator of, you said at least 700, right? 700 videos.
Yeah, over 700 videos, yeah.
Once they go there, they can also find out about the 2 books that you've actually, if they go to Instagram, they can find out about the 2 books that you authored, which would be The Drive to Freedom and The Key to Winning is Giving.
Yep.
Android users already have access to JT's Courier Run,
Yeah.
and the Apple users will be coming up pretty soon, probably by the time this comes out. It might be about a week before I finish editing it. Anybody who's interested can also sign up for your course with the Hustle Academy.
Yep.
And what else? I feel like I'm missing something else.
I also want to tell people though, if this is the first time you heard of me, came across me, I want you, before you buy a book, before you buy a course, before you spend any money with me, if you like the content that's here, please like this video, share this video with anybody you think it can help. But then come on my channel and I want you to vet me, all right? Because I got a motto on my channel. I don't want to build a community of lazy entrepreneurs. So I never want you to get to a point where you expect me to hold your hand, or you expect anybody to hold your hand from start to finish. So, I hope that something that I said in this video brings you value. However, I want you guys to come and check me out. If you like what I'm talking about, watch a couple more videos. And if you feel like, okay, this guy ain't trying to fast talk me, he ain't just trying to sell me a course, sell me a book, make me download an app, watch his YouTube videos, but it can actually help me, then hey, I would love to have you over on my channel. Hey, and your support means the world to me. But not just me. Do that to everybody on the internet. Do that to everybody you meet in real life, to include your family members and loved ones, because your mom and dad can have the best intentions for you. However, what they know and what they believe to be true could have been the best information given the circumstances they were in. All right. So it's a good chance that your mother or grandmother, they don't know about making money online because that wasn't available to them.
Yeah.
So if you say, I want to start an e-commerce business, they're like, I don't even know what e-commerce is. So not that they're trying to mislead you, but you got to you got to qualify that man or woman. So do it to me, do it to other people on the internet, do it to your family members or friends. Like, cause you guys, as much as you love your mama, if you went to the doctor and they said, unfortunately, you got a brain tumor, you're not gonna go home and say, Mama, I got a brain tumor, I need you to remove it. All right. So you will go to somebody that's qualified and that you vetted, has the technical experience and the knowledge to do so. So yeah, hey, just take that with you and apply to all areas of your life. And that's gonna help you for those people that just are in a rush to make money and they get scammed real quick because they ain't do no vetting, they ain't do no due diligence.
Didn't look before they leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vet and qualify. I like that. Vet and qualify. And read.
Yeah.
Read.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I'm like over the moon right now. I mean, yeah, I'm over the moon. I am over the moon right now. I kind of had a certain order that I was gonna try to go in, but I feel like I've already reached that top shelf. So I was very, very honored to have you on the channel, and to, like I said, you didn't just give some nuggets, you gave a gold mine. Hopefully it's not pearls before swine. Hopefully people will take the information, use the information. Don't just, oh, that was nice, I feel motivated, rah, 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 now I'm gonna go back and Netflix and chill. Do something with the information, people. If you want it, you have to go and get it. You have to, if you don't know, you have to learn. And once you learn, there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. So
yeah. Knowledge is not power. I tell people that, and I was raised like that too. So lots of times, I know what people mean when they say it, but it's been repeated so much that we've
lost its effect.
Yeah. So what was meant was the application of knowledge, but now so many people they lost it. So that's why I tell people now, trying to get people to get back to that original meaning. Knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. That sounds like a no-duh moment, but it's so many people that can tell me about business that they couldn't sell hope to a dying man. Like, so, man, they couldn't sell water to a man dehydrated or nothing like that, right? So I definitely want to tell people, hey, you can watch these YouTube videos, you can read the books, you can buy courses, but if you don't do nothing with it, think of it this way. If you had to cure the cancer and you didn't treat people or you didn't sell that cure to somebody or some institution that would treat people, and you just died with that secret in your head, it wouldn't change your personal economy at all. So you got to do something with that knowledge, no matter what level of knowledge you have. Everybody knows something. So you might not know how to do anything except how to build a house. That's $1 million skill right there. You might not know how to do nothing but to make people laugh. $1 million skill right there. You might, your skill might be, you just know how to talk so that people will listen. All right.
We talked about spiritual gifts this past week in 1 Corinthians. Use them gifts.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. But that's my rambling, man. It's a 3-hour live stream. I don't want you to have to edit no more than you have to edit. We should have just went live. Next time we gotta just go live.
All right. Oh man, I'm just over the moon. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep because I'm gonna be so excited. Like, did it really happen? Did it really happen? Yes, yes. Thank you so much. On that note, any questions, comments, you guys know what to do. Leave it in the comment section below. Now, if you have not already subscribed, now would be a great time to subscribe before you even forget about it. Make sure you turn on the notification bells. That will be here at 40 Entrepreneur Drive, and also over there. Hold on, I got to point it the right way. And also over there at JT Hustles. Check them out. If you want to know information, we are living in the digital age. Look it up. It's right there. Content creators are putting this information out there for you. Take it, run with it. And like the man say, I'm looking at the model, but I'm going to let you say, like the man say.
Oh, shut up and hustle. Oh,
there you go. Shut up and hustle. So thank you again. Yeah. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next regular video live stream or the next boss moment. That is the business owners spotlight segment, special series, whatever you want to call it. It's boss. Thanks everybody. I'll see you in the next video.